So it's really about that whole piece of unifying the community and bringing it together.
Hundreds of people wake up early on their day off. How planting trees honors the spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And it's a great opportunity for fifth graders at Sacagawea Elementary.
I get to work with technology and I don't always get to do that.
Behind the scenes at Skyhawk News. Plus,
and then our teacher says, I want this to be cooler, so add some more.
An amazingly cool and complicated class project at Skyview High School.
Little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
Moving words from Dr. Martin Luther King. And in that spirit of community, hundreds of people come together on that holiday to celebrate Dr. King's legacy. Hello and welcome to In the Know. I'm Helen Raptis. To commemorate MLK Day, volunteers gathered at Fort Vancouver High School for what organizers called Unity in the Community. Nick Vole has a story.
Today is MLK Day, which is a federal holiday. A lot of people have the day off, including students. They could have stayed at home sleeping in bed, but instead they chose to come out here in the wind and the rain to plant some trees.
The day began early as volunteers signed up for duty at Fort Vancouver High School. More than 250 of them, students, teachers, community members, even the mayor.
Get out there and plant some trees. Go Vancouver!
From the school, the volunteers walked down to nearby Burnt Bridge Creek, got their shovels, and got busy.
We've got them split up into 3 groups. 2 groups are planting trees at various ends of the greenway, and then we've got a group here spreading mulch.
One of the goals is to restore the creek to its natural state.
We needed to address the issue as far as what we see here. Here we have this huge open field that I'm sure didn't used to just be empty.
Eddie Esparza works for the school district's Gear Up program, which helps kids get into college. He also helped organize this event. A big part of Gear Up is public service, a value Esparza shares on this day with his son.
Dr. King is an example of, getting out there and making a difference. No matter what it is that you want to do in life, do something with this day. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, and in my opinion, the best way that we can honor him is by making it a day of service and not just having it be a day of rest.
That spirit of giving back really resonates with volunteers like Abby, a student at OHSU.
We had the day off for school. I thought it was a really good opportunity to come out and serve, so Martha, my roommate, and I are here, and we're just trying to help.
For others, the day of service is about feeling a connection to Vancouver.
I actually use this trail every once in a while. I jog for soccer and stuff, so it's nice to see the trees and stuff that I gave back to my community. It's something I can look back at and say I did that, so it kind of feels good too.
We live in a wonderful community. I think it's very important knowing that government can't do everything, knowing that we are in tough economic climate, that it's time for citizens in our community to step up and take some ownership.
For the volunteers here today, it's a rainy, cold day of work. But they'll leave here today knowing that they've made their community a better place, they've made connections with each other, and they've left a green space behind we all can enjoy. For In the Know, I'm Nick Vole.
The state of Washington is facing a serious budget shortfall, and it appears that all levels of government, including schools, will be affected. To keep you informed on what's happening in Olympia and here in Vancouver, we've produced a special In the Know Extra. Our Colleen Nelson sat down with Superintendent Steve Webb to get the latest on the budget situation, find out how large the possible cuts might be, and what the district is already doing to save money. If you're watching us on Comcast, that special is coming up after this show. If you're watching online, we've posted it on our YouTube page. Students at Geyser Middle School are getting out of the classroom and into a living laboratory. As Chad Young shows us, they're already making their school grounds a healthier place.
Students come running out of Geyser Middle School, eager to get to their science lesson. It may not look like much, but 7th graders in Charlene Shea's class and 6th graders in Megan Graves' class have taken ownership of this drainage system that they've nicknamed Geyser Pond. First, they cleared out invasive species. Then they started their tests. The 6th graders are checking for chemicals in the water. The 7th graders are looking for macroinvertebrates.
There's another one, Cody, right inside there. See him?
For somebody that isn't a scientist, explain to me what a macro is.
Bugs.
That's right, bugs. Checking for different species reveals the level of pollution in the water.
The ones that are high pollution tolerant, they can, if there's a lot of those, then we can tell that there's been a lot of pollution in our school from all the garbage on the ground. And if there's a lot of low pollution, then that means that our school has been very helpful in picking up garbage.
To see the effect of that pollution, the students simply follow the macros.
The bugs usually go downstream, then the stream ends up in lakes. So the pollution would end up in lakes and other rivers.
Instead of being told how our ecosystem works, these students are seeing it close up.
We learn what the bugs actually look like and how they react instead of just looking at pictures. So.
Their teacher tells us that kind of first-hand experience teaches a valuable lesson. The students are seeing how they can and are already using science to make a difference. The work that the Geyser student scientists are doing here at Geyser Pond is going to have an impact both here and downstream for many years to come. For In the Know, I'm Chad Young.
The students are getting a hand from a graduate student at Washington State University, thanks to a grant from the National Science Foundation. 2 other Vancouver middle schools have similar programs in place. We have an update to a story we told you about earlier this year. Clint Saylor, a Skyview High School senior, was named to the All-American Video Crew, just one of 5 students across the country to be honored. His prize? An all-expenses-paid trip to Texas to be part of the crew for the Army All-American Bowl. The contest was sponsored by NewTek, a video equipment company. Clint tells us NewTek was impressed with its winners.
And apparently they kind of got blown away by us, because the day that they were training us how to use all their equipment, they planned it out for a 6-hour day, and we finished it in 3 or 4 hours. And after that, they were like, what are we supposed to do with you guys?
Clint shot some of the footage for us while he was down there. In addition to helping with a football game, Clint shadowed an MTV crew as it picked up video footage. He said it was great to see professionals at work, and he really enjoyed meeting all the other All-Americans. If I told you students are using marbles, dominoes, and Hot Wheels in class, you might think we're talking about kindergartners. But really, it's high schoolers. And even though they're having fun, they're not fooling around.
Ready?
It starts with the push of a button and ends with the raising of a flag. What happens in between is a whole lot more complicated.
It's a Rube Goldberg machine.
Rube Goldberg was a cartoonist who drew elaborate contraptions to do simple everyday tasks. This project is a lot like the game Mousetrap, but on a whole nother level.
It had some really good science in it, and so it's part of the curriculum here, and we do it every year.
Teacher Nate Macon gave his students some simple guidelines. These Skyview High School students had a 2-foot by 2-foot space. They had to use all 6 simple machines, all 3 kinds of levers, and their creation had to run for at least 10 seconds. After that,
they really have to make their own decisions. They really run the project themselves within the time constraints.
It was just all us on this project. He really just wanted us to have a chance to do everything us, and he just I don't know, it was a good chance to have control of everything.
It's very hands-on, and I like learning about the tools you use and just learning how to do things under pressure.
Adding to that pressure was the most important rule for this project.
All students get the same grade, because literally they're only producing one product that has to work together consistently.
For every time the machine had to be restarted by hand, the entire class lost points. So as they learned the properties of physics, they also learned a valuable real-world lesson.
It doesn't matter what you're doing. You better be able to work with other people, even if you don't like them.
That's an idea this class took to heart.
We just did everything as a team. We brainstormed as a team, we built as a team, we fixed problems as a team.
Mr. Macon tells us that no class has ever gone all the way through their machine without having to restart it at least once. But this class was among his highest scoring ever. We've posted the students' machine in action from start to finish on our YouTube page. That's youtube.com/VanSDTV. News happens everywhere all the time, and it doesn't have to be a big storm or a speech by the president. There are stories of all shapes and sizes, and students at Sacagawea Elementary School are telling theirs with their own TV show. Colleen Nelson has more in our Focus on Technology.
I'm Natani at the Math Carnival. We're having lots of fun here learning.
The stories are smaller, but so too are the journalists. Fifth graders at Sacagawea Elementary in Vancouver are keeping their entire school in the loop with not one, but two news programs.
We started Channel 7 News a few years back, kind of as a way for the whole school to come together in the morning.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Every morning we say like the Pledge of Allegiance and what's for lunch and like if something's coming up.
Every fifth grader at Sacagawea has a chance to help out, either on the morning news or their news magazine show, which comes out every 2 weeks. The students are learning every element of video production, which helps them learn other subjects.
I used to be afraid to sometimes do things on the computer if I deleted or something, but now I know what to do, and it's easier for me to use a computer.
And it's not just the technical stuff. Students have learned the importance of research and writing.
You can choose different words than just, like if you have like Tuesday, you like another T word, it sounds better than just a normal word.
They're learning skills to interview teachers. They've got to go around and find out the news for the day.
Teacher Jeff Lee supervises the team, but since he needs to be in his classroom in the morning,
they're running it independently, which I think is pretty amazing. I don't know if many 10-year-olds are able to run a TV studio.
What an educational and fun experience.
For In the Know, I'm Colleen Nelson.
Mr. Lee volunteers his time to produce these shows. He's also helped fundraise to get a lot of that equipment. If you're watching us on Comcast, stay tuned after our show. We're going to play a clip of the program the students at Sacagawea are producing. It's a rare opportunity for dance students at Alki Middle School as they get lessons from a pro. Shayla Matos teaches dance classes at Alki and at Salmon Creek Elementary. Thanks to a grant from the Vancouver School District Foundation, she was able to bring in a professional dancer from Oregon Ballet Theater. Hannah Downs spent a week in Miss Matos' class, teaching the students classic ballet techniques with a twist.
It doesn't necessarily look like ballet, but it has all of the vocabulary of ballet in it.
So we are using tendus, we are using bras de jambes, and we're using jetés in a contemporary dance that combines pointed toes but hip-hop arms. And it's like a big fusion mix of dance.
This is the first year dance has been offered at Alki after more than a decade without it. As part of that VSD Foundation grant, Ms. Matos will also be having a hip-hop dance instructor come in. You can learn more about many of the stories you've seen here today in the latest edition of Vancouver Public Schools Report to the Community. If you live in district boundaries, this publication is mailed to your home. Inside, you'll find student success stories, plans for the district, and other important news. If you didn't get a copy, it's also available on the district website. Just go to the news link at the top of the homepage. Students at Discovery Middle School raised money for the American Heart Association at their annual Hoops for Heart event. The boys and girls competed in separate games of the classic basketball game, Bump. Then at the end, the winner of each grade level duked it out. The boys winner and girls winner each got a blue basketball and a special picture in the class yearbook. But really, everyone comes out ahead.
It is a great event, and it's nice for them to see that they're helping the community and getting involved with the community.
This is the 9th year for Hoops for Heart at Discovery. The fundraising goal was $1,500, but the students brought in more than $1,800. Students at Lincoln Elementary got into the school spirit on Dress Professional Day. Boys and girls chose a job and then dressed the part. It wasn't just suits and ties. Jamie, a 2nd grader, chose to dress up as a chef.
I like to help my mommy cook cookies and the stuff that we're going to make for lunch and dinner and breakfast.
I'm dressed up as a lawyer, and I don't know why.
Even if he doesn't know why, he still looked pretty sharp. Lincoln's principal tells us events like this help build a strong sense of community at school. Well, that just about does it for us today. Thanks for watching. For In the Know, I'm Helen Raptis.